Welcome back. That is definitely not K. Also, I think I put it in the video, but Google lied to me about her eye color. This is K. It's the same eye color. Wait, this room? Officer, isn't this... Yes, sir. This is the trial chamber of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. So it's here now? I knew that they'd move out of the prosecutor building, but I had no idea that they come here. Big building. It is a big building. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, and Kay, too. God, her face. It is terrifying. I feel like... Okay, so here's my prediction this time. Last time I predicted the coat was made of a bunch of little ferret things, fox things, and that at some point they would all explode. I'm predicting this time, at some point, like, her bun hair thing is gonna come undone, and that's gonna stop all this tightening around the face. We heard there was some kind of incident. I'm sorry, but who might this be? This is my grandma. Hold on one second. Name's Hilda Hertz, Sonny. And who the heck might you be? Ahem. It's a pleasure to meet you. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth at your service. Nurse Needler. Your grandmother's name Hertz, is she? Yep. She's the director of Hertz Hospital. This old forget woman is the head of the hospital? Don't you old foggy me, you danged reprobate. Ahem. How did she do that? Whoa, sounds like you're kind of a big deal, ma'am. Oh, that's not true. Ahem, not wrong. Not wrong at all. Oh, him? He's the one looking after the girl, the one with amnesia. It seems Dr. Hertz is a bit of an introvert. Want me to fix those brow furrows of yours, Sonny? Hee hee hee. Oh, there's no fixing those, ma'am. They're downright incurable. What? You sure you want me to say that, Grandma? Well, alright then. Now, I don't got a dang thing more to say to none of ya. You go on about your business, you hear? As long as that business doesn't involve messing with the deceased's body, I got work to do. Wait, please, Not a dang thing, I tell you. Hey, you can't talk to us like that. What gives you the right, huh, pal? Oh, didn't I mention, Grandma's also a coroner. She's in charge of this case, which means ouch. Which means exactly that. What do you mean, exactly what? How am I supposed to know? She said it, not me. They're a very abusive family. It's like I'm trapped in a comedy routine I can't escape. Well, we've got a body to be looking at. Catch you later, gang, and take care. What the heck is their deal? What does it matter, as long as we have permission to investigate? What does it matter? It matters a bunch, sir. What will you do now, Mr. Edgeworth? Examine the scene of the crime, of course. What kind of prosecutor would I be if I didn't? Alright, let's get to work. That person over there is called K, right? Surely that means I can't be the K you knew. I mean, it's very obvious that that is not K. Although she is holding something, but I can't tell what. You're the K we know, I'm certain of it. Thanks. The K who lost her memory and a victim who shares her name. Both meeting their respective fates here at the big building. No doubt this case will be the K to restoring our K's memories. I'd stake my life on it. What do you got for me, sir? Tell me about the security arrangements. Yes, sir. You need a special key card to enter, sir. Interesting, so not just anybody can enter. In which case, the person who discovered the body would have been, yes sir, a member of the committee. They found it when they arrived for today's hearing. The hearing? My hearing. Which would be underway right now if it wasn't for this. Oop. I can examine the books. That's a lot of books, sir. It's kind of intimidating if you ask me. Intimidating? What could be more welcoming than a good book detective? Guess that depends. I got the chewing out of my life in a library back in the day for running laps inside it. But this isn't really a library, is it? So maybe I can jog around a little, work off some of my anxiety. Something tells me that if I don't stop him, he might very well start running around and around. Nice, neatly arranged bookshelves stretching off into the distance. Quite a pleasing sight, don't you think? Sure is. There's not a speck of dust on any of them. It reminds me of my special method for cleaning your office, sir. Sweep, then vacuum, then wipe it all down twice. Then on goes the floor wax, and then... If only you approached your actual job with the same level of rigor. I stepped all over the blood. It's a statue of the goddess of justice. You sure know your stuff, sir. So does she dole out blessings or what? She's not that kind of goddess, detective. She's a symbol of the sanctity of the law. The scales represent justice, the sword, retribution, and the blindfold shows her impartiality. I must scour the scene. Inspect anything that catches my attention. Like the fact that she has no feet. There is nothing else odd here. Surely not this giant pool of blood. There's a pool of blood here at the foot of the statue. Judging by the amount and how it was spread, I'd say this is where the victim was killed. But the body's on the table behind us, sir. How come? I can only surmise the killer must have moved it for some reason after committing the murder. Sorry to intrude. Oh, it's been a while. What's up, girl? Who are... What's that, Grandma? I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Von Karma's little girl. Oh, so you two know each other. It's been too long, Grandma Hertz. And you as well, Miles Edgeworth. What's she doing here? Franziska von Karma. She is the daughter of Manfred von Karma and a prosecutor like myself. These days, she's mainly been working with Interpol, though I thought she was supposed to be abroad. Don't look so surprised. Where my investigations lead, I follow, no matter where in the world that might be. Which means there must be some kind of international angle to this case, yes? You know full well that I've been pursuing a certain smuggling ring. And that I won't rest until it has been destroyed and its ill-gotten goods recovered. So the smuggling ring is involved, then. That information is to be shared on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. I mean, if you're here, then yes. I see she means to be as helpful as ever. Miss Von Karma, was it? Grandma wants to tell you something. I'm about done here, scene's all yours. In that case, we'd like to examine the body ourselves too, if you wouldn't mind. I mind plenty. I remember where I heard about you now, you danged varmint. Don't need no soon-to-be ex-prosecutor messing the place up. Go on, get. Just remember it's not me saying this stuff, okay? Please, Granny, it's important. Who you calling a granny, little missy? Eek! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. This is going nowhere. I didn't want to have to do this, but... Franziska, I need you to add us to this investigation. We have to see that body up close, so we'll never learn the truth about what happened to Kay. As in Kay Faraday? Please, you gotta help us out. Kay needs us. I don't know what you're up to, but very well. Thank you. You won't regret it. Of course, I expect to receive a full explanation when I grill you later. We owe you, sir, big time. I wasn't talking to you, Scruffy. It's been a while. Well, Grandma hurts. Will you allow them to examine the body? I ain't about to say no to an international big shot like yourself, hon, but are you sure about this? Yeah, I agree with Grandma. Are you sure you're sure? Of course I'm sure. It's my prerogative to judge the whole world in my name. That's just common sense. Of the extremely arrogant sort, perhaps. Suit yourself, but don't say I didn't warn you. Well, you heard her. Try not to get fired, okay? Don't worry. It'll take a lot more than this to ruin my reputation, should things turn sour. Unlike me, who's on the verge of losing my badge. Well, now I can examine the body. Well, one thing's for certain. Promises K? This isn't Kay. She doesn't even look like her. I think we knew that already, Detective. Our Kay's standing right over there, after all. The victim looks to be in her 30s. She's wearing a white suit. Could be she worked in one of the offices here in the building. Perhaps, but for now she remains unidentified. The question is, why did the police seem to think her name was Kay? I'm gonna scour the scene, inspect anything. Like this giant notebook that says K. This book? What the? That's Kay's promise notebook. It's where she wrote down all the promises she made to her dad. Haven't seen this in a while. Indeed. Never take things from strangers. Never go anywhere with strangers. A book of vows made by a child to her father. People always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Never cry in front of strangers. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. What exactly is it doing here? Oh, I just remembered something Detective Bad told me a few years back. He said something precious to Kay disappeared from the station. What? Evidence went missing from police custody? Detective Bad said he looked for it everywhere, but no dice. What could this mean, and why did it turn up here of all places? You there, what do we know about this notebook, officer? The victim was holding it when they found her, sir. It was the only thing with any kind of name on it at the time, so that's how she became Kay. Talk about a red herring. Still doesn't explain how she ended up with it, though. If only we had a few more leads on the victim's true identity. Why is this? You think this could be the murder weapon? Well, she does have 3 little piercing things. A 3-armed candle. The victim suffered the same number of puncture wounds to the chest. Puncture wounds that could well have been made by these spikes. A candle album? Not quite, Detective. A candelabrum. A candle holder, in other words. Ah, I got you. That reminds me. I forgot to pay my electricity bill once a while back when I had to live by candlelight for a whole month. Who does that in this day and age? Okay. Well, the stabby wounds. It doesn't look like if there's anything in the chest pocket. Nothing except this hole right here. By the look of how the fabric was torn, I think it was pierced by something sharp. Can't keep your coins in there now, they'd all fall right out. Have you never heard of a change purse, Detective? Sure have, sir. It's another word for a pocket, right? I give up. There's the flower. There's something pinned to the jacket here. A piece of magnetic fabric. Whatever it was, it looks like it was torn off pretty roughly. A pure white jacket with a deep red stain on its lapel. In this jacket, the buttons are on the wearer's right-hand side. What's so weird about that? Buttons always go on the right, no? Not on women's clothing. Traditionally, the buttons would be on the left. Like I always say, sir, you sure know your stuff. This is... I didn't know that. Nothing else seems amiss. Wait, what's in the pocket? A pair of gloves, also white. They don't seem to be soiled in any way. I imagine they must have belonged to the victim. What's in your hand? It seems she suffered a serious burn to her hand at some point. You think it has something to do with how she died? No, this scar is too old for that. I would imagine it happened some time ago. She's holding something. Detective, could you open her hand for me? Yes, sir, right away. What is that? Wait, I know. It's a loyalty card. No, he got whipped. It's a key card. Why, sir, why? The question we should be asking is, what does it open? Probably the doors to this chamber. Anything else? Head wound? The victim's hair is caked with blood. Looks like she was hit with something. Unfortunately, it's too early to say for certain. Perhaps an answer will turn up as we investigate further. Anything else? I think we got everything? Do I have anything on me? Ooh! It's like torn on the bottom right. Yes. Eureka! Judging by its appearance, I'd say that the flower Kay was carrying originally belonged to the victim. Yeah, now that you mention it, it does look like it's made out of the same fabric. Indeed, let's make a closer comparison. The torn edges match up exactly. You've got one heck of an eye, sir. Magenta flower data updated in my organizer. If the flower belonged to the victim, this implies a connection between the victim and Kay Faraday. Furthermore, it appears that the flower was torn off with considerable force. Well, if Kay was pushed off the edge, she could have, like, reached for it to, like, prevent herself from falling. But that would imply that she pushed Kay and somebody else killed her. Kay Faraday was involved in the incident somehow, and based on what we're seeing here, we may have no choice but to treat her as our main suspect. What? But there's no way she could have done this. I can't even begin to imagine it. There isn't a murderous bone in her body. Nevertheless, we lack the evidence to disprove such an assertion. For the moment, we're simply considering all the possibilities. Isn't that right, Miles? For better or worse, yes. I don't think I have anything else. Do I have any cues I can put together? I do. Boop, boop. I would imagine that the victim's keycard probably grants access to this room, wouldn't you? Let me go find out, sir. I'm back. They found some details on the keycard in the security system. It's for this room, just like you said. So the victim was able to enter and exit this chamber freely. Assuming that the keycard actually belonged to her, yes. Indeed. Keycard data jotted down in my organizer. It seems we're no closer to discovering the identity of our victim. Then, am I really Kay? Can you really be sure? Of course we're sure. What are you talking about? Thank you. And that person lying there? Is someone you may have murdered, but that's all we can say for now. No, there's no way she did it. Isn't that right, sir? Indeed, I don't believe the Kay we know could have done something like this. You're becoming a real softie, Miles Edgeworth. Well, look who... Aw. It's gonna be Winter, isn't it? I know that voice. Yep. Oh, no Gavel, just him? With a winning smile and the #1 name in the business, it is I, Prosecutor Eustace Winter. Ah, there she is. Please forgive the intrusion. Step away from that body, Edgeworth. I didn't call for you, and I don't need you. This case is mine. It's what the victim would have wanted. You knew the victim? So it really is her. But be not afraid, everyone, for the goddess of justice will guide us to the truth. She sure will. Now that I'm here, everything is gonna be alright. Whoever did this will live to regret it. I'll show them with a eek. Oh, did he hit himself? Oh no, she whipped him. Miles Edgeworth, who is this imbecile? Why am I getting the death glare? I've got nothing to do with him. Franziska von Karma, I presume? My apologies, I should have introduced myself sooner. Verity Gavel at your service. And the deceased in this case is... Rosie Ringer, attorney at law, and a member of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. I see, that would explain the keycard. So you're the lead prosecutor? Yep, which means this case will be so... You didn't tell me your name yet, little boy. If you want to know my name, all you... Stop babbling and tell me, now. It's Eustace Winter. I think we've established where the balance of power lies in this particular room. Mr. Guy in charge? Here, this is from Grandma. What's this? Oh, the preliminary findings. Hee hee hee, looks like the game is over for you, Edgeworth. This isn't a game, Mr. Winter. Alright, that's me done. See you next stiff. Yeah, home time. I could murder a bowl of noodles right now. We're out of here, everybody. Stay healthy. Let's see. So the wound on her head is from when she fell over after she died. Eustace. It was the candle holder that killed her, huh? And she died sometime late last night? What now, Gavel? It's very kind of you to share the coroner's findings with everyone, Eustace. But perhaps you should leave it there. We wouldn't want you to strain your voice, after all. AKA. No, that would be a tragedy. She doesn't want him telling us. Anyway, that settles it. We need to arrest Kay. What? What the heck are you talking about? I think Eustace's meaning was very clear. Miss Faraday is the murderer. And though she is dressed differently than usual, this young lady covered in bandages is Miss Faraday herself, correct? You really mean to arrest her here and now? If you do, then I'll be forced to object, loudly and forcefully. And as if further confirmation were needed, there it is. The committee was right to call your conduct into question. It is questionable in the extreme. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, just go. It's fine. Fine? This is anything but fine, Kay. I still don't remember anything. So maybe I did do it. Maybe I killed that poor woman and I just don't remember. The goddess smiles on those who confess. She didn't confess. The longer this game goes, the more I hate her. It is her wish that our confessions cleanse us. She applauds your commitment to the case of justice, as do I. Judge Gavel, Eustace, if you really intend to arrest Kay, could you at least explain your grounds for doing so? I, for one, certainly don't intend to yield, not until I've seen some evidence to support your accusation. Then allow me. Prepare to be hit with a face full of detective genius, Edgeworth. Why I think Kay did it. They call it the human race because someone has to win it, and that somebody is me. I won this race too. I saw it before anyone else did. Kay Faraday is the murderer, no doubt about it. She snuck into the committee chamber, looking at them. Trademark great thieving. Well, she hasn't stolen anything. Also, she doesn't have access to the room. Which means that nobody but her could have killed Rosie Ringer. Detective genius? That was a total mess. And if Detective Gumshoe was saying that, you know it must be bad. I asked you to explain your grounds for arresting Kay, yet you have explained exactly nothing. True, but we haven't seen any proof of her innocence either. It's alright, Kay. Mr. Edgeworth will pull off a miracle somehow. You just gotta believe in him. My deductions aren't acts of divine intervention, you know. Well, Miles Edgeworth, I'd hate for you to disappoint me. But in the event that you do, I will be sure to freely let you know. The last one, keycard. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Well, not the last one. I think it was third to last. Yeah, this one.
Objection!
Are you familiar with this room, Mr. Winner? It certainly sounds like you are. What can I say? Winners know where winners go, and I'm number 1, and 2, and 3. In other words, the majority of your work is second, if not third rate. Why do you always have to make fun of me? You can take it as a slight if you wish, but the fact remains that you seem unfamiliar with this keycard. What do you take me for? Of course I'm familiar with it. You need one of those to get in here. Don't you? Have you no shame? Mr. Winner, do you really even suspect Kay? Of course I do. She did it. Faraday's the killer. Then perhaps you can tell us how Kay got into such a secure room as this, without a keycard. Well, you know, there was one there, and yeah. A masterful summary. Now, as we know, only members of the committee have keycards, therefore only they can enter. I hope you did it. just to end this, I hope you did the killing. Precisely. Why is she agreeing with me? Please take a look at this. I had security pull the data earlier. As you can see, the door to this room was opened at 12:52 with Miss Ringer's keycard. We cannot know for certain, of course, but who's to say the culprit didn't enter the room with Miss Ringer, and then kill her over some sort of subsequent disagreement? It's certainly a plausible theory, but that's all it is. For one, it would require the victim and her murderer to have known one another. Yeah, Kay did know the woman, I'm sure of it. Well, we don't know that. How can you possibly be sure of such a thing? That's pure speculation on your part, Detective. There's no place for guesswork in the courtroom, despite the fact that we also constantly use guesswork. In that case, are you suggesting that you have hard evidence to support your theory? Evidence that Kay Faraday and Rosie Ringer knew one another. But of course. Nani? I have here a letter. Dr. Hertz found it in the victim's chest pocket. Another of the victim's possessions, and you keep this to yourself until now. You planned for this, didn't you? Is that why? Yeah, something last night, and then she silenced him. Perhaps you should leave it there. We wouldn't want you to strain your voice after all. Ha ha ha. Shall I read it for you? Rosie, thanks so much for agreeing to help me with my plan. Now we can both get what we want. Good luck getting your revenge for what happened 12 years ago. Kay. This would seem to indicate pretty strongly that the two of them were accomplices, wouldn't you say? Accomplices in a plot to steal from the very room in which we are standing. Wait, so your principal suspect is Miss Kay Faraday, for this second crime as well as Miss Ringer's murder. I'm the principal suspect? Don't listen to her, it's all lies, all of it. You're not like that, you never do any of the stuff they're accusing you of. Then how do you explain the letter, Detective? Unlike Mr. Winner, I suspect that Judge Gaval herself had some proof to support her accusations, but I didn't expect it to be quite so definitive. Nicely done, Gavel. Thank you, Eustace.
Hold it!
We're not done here yet. I still have questions, and you'd better have answers. Would you mind if I handle this, Eustace? Be my guest. Have fun arguing Edgeworth into the ground. I can't let them steamroll me on this. I have to find a way to take back the advantage. Kay's letter, which we will look into next time. Bye bye.